Hi everyone, today's lecture is the third part of post-harvest processing of fruits and vegetables, in which we will talk about the storage of post-harvest fruits and vegetables. This lecture would be beneficial for the students preparing for ICAR ARS Net Food Technology and also for the students pursuing their BSc and MSc courses. So there are several methods for storing the post-harvest fruits and vegetables. In this lecture, we will discuss 4 methods of storage, and these methods are zero energy cool chamber, charcoal cool chamber, controlled atmospheric storage, and modified atmospheric storage. Now the first storage system is zero energy cool chamber. As the name indicates zero energy, it means without the consumption of electricity, we store our harvested fruits and vegetables in a cooling environment. So we can say that zero energy cool chamber is an alternative way of refrigeration, because refrigeration process consumes lot of electricity and it is an expensive method for our farmers. So our farmers prefer zero energy cool chamber for the storage of their harvested commodities. They construct the zero energy cool chambers in their small and marginal fields. Now let us look into its construction and discuss some basic requirements for the construction of zero energy cool chamber. So this is the picture of zero energy cool chamber. Firstly, we have to construct the double brick wall. We can say a box in a box kind of system. Then a cavity. A cavity is formed between these two walls, and this cavity is filled with sand. Now the crates or the trays of the fruits and vegetables, they are placed inside this chamber. The crates or the trays of fruits and vegetables, they should be covered with the polythene sheets when they are placing inside this chamber. Then we have to cover this chamber, and farmers mostly use gunny bags to cover it. In order to maintain the desirable temperature, we have to moist the sand which is filled in this cavity. We have to moist the bricks. We have to moist the covering of this chamber continuously with water. So we can moist them continuously by providing water through a fixed drip system with plastic pipes. So it keeps the temperature 15 to 30 degrees Celsius uh, less than the atmospheric temperature, and maintains the relative humidity about 90 to 95%. So as compared to refrigerators, zero energy cool chambers are inexpensive and they are eco-friendly, because only natural things are used for its construction, and it also not releases such byproducts which are not good for the environment. One more thing is that zero energy cool chamber should be reinstalled once in 3 years with new bricks, and we can utilize old bricks for some other purposes. So here are some pictures of zero energy cool chamber. The crates of the vegetables are properly covered with the polythene sheets before they are placing inside the chamber. Then the chamber is properly covered with the gunny bags, and it is very important to make a shed over the zero energy cool chamber to in order to protect it from sunlight and rain. So this is the construction of zero energy cool chamber. Now let us talk about the principle upon which it works. The working of zero energy cool chamber is based upon the principle direct evaporative cooling. When water evaporates into the air, and if the air is dry, it increases the humidity of the air and causes more cooling effect. So we can say that the degree of evaporation is directly proportional to the cooling effect. That is, if there is more evaporation, then there will be high cooling effect, and if there is less evaporation, then there will be low cooling effect. The efficiency of zero energy cool chamber depends upon the humidity of air and evaporating surface. So that's why they are also called as evaporative coolers. There is another evaporative cooler called charcoal cooling chamber. The basic principle behind the charcoal cooling chamber is same as that of zero energy cool chamber. That is, working is based upon direct evaporative cooling principle. The basic difference is that in zero energy cool chamber, the sand is filled in the cavities between the two walls and kept continually moist. But in charcoal cooling chamber, the charcoal is filled in the cavities and kept continually moist. So this is all about the evaporative coolers. Now the third and the fourth method is CAS and MAS respectively. CAS is controlled atmospheric storage. MAS is modified atmospheric storage. We know that in atmosphere there is 78% of nitrogen, 21% of oxygen, 0.04% of carbon dioxide, and remaining are other gases. For long-term storage of fruits and vegetables, we require low oxygen and high carbon dioxide in order to inhibit the growth of microorganisms and insects. So as the name indicates, controlled atmospheric storage, such kind of storage control the content of the gases around the perishable products very precisely. And also it precisely control the gas partial pressure than modified atmospheric storage. Whereas modified atmospheric storage is involved in manipulation of nitrogen, oxygen and carbon dioxide. Manipulation of gases is either a complete or partial removal of air from the storage and its replacement with a single gas or mixture of gases. Modified atmospheric storage is done either by active process or by passive process. Active process is a fast method, whereas passive process is a slow method. When CAS or MAS is combined with the chilling treatment, then it gives rise to high quality maintenance of fruits and vegetables. CAS storage is considered as best compared to MS storage because it controls the gas concentration very precisely as compared to MS storage. CAS storage have longer storage life. Specific temperature is maintained in the CAS storage, whereas in MS storage specific temperature may or may not be maintained. CAS storage is modified by adding a particular concentration of a specific gas, whereas MS storage is created either by active process or by passive process. The disadvantage of CAS storage is that it is costlier than MS storage. Now the benefits of CAS storage. We know that for long-term storage of fruits and vegetables, we require less oxygen content and high carbon dioxide content. So CAS storage system provides low oxygen and high carbon dioxide environment. For long-term storage, respiration rate should be low. In climatic fruits, respiration rate is very high. So we can decrease the respiration rate using CAS storage. Due to low content of oxygen, there will be less effect of ethylene. So if there is less effect of ethylene, the ripening process will decrease. CAS storage increases the firmness of fruits and vegetables because it inhibits the enzymes that damages the cellular membranes of fruits and vegetables. CAS storage also increases the turgidity of the cell. Turgidity refers to the condition of being swollen. For example, if this is a cell, when water molecules enters the cell, it results in swollen or a turgid cell. So if the turgidity increases, the fruits become more juicy. CAS storage also provide good sensory and nutritional quality. It also provide longer shelf life. The physiological disorders like injuries, spots, pits, browning, patches and so on, they also get reduced. Mold growth also get reduced due to less oxygen content. There will be greater color stability due to the pigments present in the fruits and vegetables. They retain to their greater extent. So that's all. Thanks for watching. I hope this video lecture will be helpful for you. You can also follow me on Instagram. My Instagram ID is foodtechworld, where you can find interesting updates related to food technology. Thank you.